This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. Glad to have you with us. We are joined by Bishop Woosley. He is the director of the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. Good to have you back with us.
Thanks for having me.
You doing well?
I am.
Good. Your numbers look pretty good. That'll make you doing pretty well, won't it?
Absolutely. We've had a real good year. We just had a record-breaking April, and we've seen an increase just about every single month this year over last year, so we're proud.
I think year-to-date you're up about 13%, which is about $49 million.
We are.
That's a bit unsustainable, isn't it?
Well,
do you want to be up that big?
Anyone in my position, you love a record-breaking year, and all you think about starting in about March is, oh my gosh, what are we going to do next year? So you got to feed the beast, so to speak.
Let's talk about why we are seeing these record numbers. What do you attribute to being the drivers of why things are up on a consistent basis month over month and year to date?
Well, I think the first and foremost, is our staff has just worked really, really hard over the last 2 or 3 years. I always say that it's like turning a battleship around. We had a couple of years that were down. We went under the governor's umbrella, under DF&A.
Has that been a good move?
It's been a good move. It's given us some insulation. It allows us to really concentrate on our job. And so we've just spent a lot more time focusing in on what we're doing. I think we have better games out there. I think we have better advertising now, and our execution in retail is much better. And that in and of itself is a good thing. Then you have, we added debit cards in August of last year. You have to think that that's making a pretty nice difference. And then, people have a little bit more money in their paychecks with the tax cut, and the economy's been pretty good. Now this $3 gas is kind of making me shaky.
There's been some population growth too in the state. And
there has.
Just anytime you've got any kind of organic growth like that. Let's go back to the execution level at the retailer level. I'm not familiar with what all that entails, but tell me, or give me some insight as to what has been done there to make it better and how that has improved your numbers.
Well, first of all, you have to have better visibility. So when someone walks into a retail environment, anyone who goes into a retailer store understands it's overwhelming. You've got cigarettes, you've got tobacco, you've got energy drinks. We've got to be visible. And then when people actually see those huge bins that we typically have on a retail counter, they have to be full. And keeping those full is one of our priorities, making sure people that are in the retail environment understand to activate them. When the bins get empty, when you get new games, they get new games the first Tuesday of every month. We want those new games in the bin and for sale on the day they come out. So really focusing on that, kind of making our reports better to where we understand who has what games on sale, calling them, notifying them, and letting them know, hey, put some games in your bins. That's first and foremost. Then we just have better POS in the store to notify people what games we have, what's available.
Acronyms out there, POS, point of sale.
I'm an old lawyer too. I mean, they're teaching me all these terms. So, but I think that's it. And people, we've kind of created a brand, so to speak, so people know that certain games are coming out certain months and they look for them. And we've had a real good year with $10 tickets. We released a Wonka ticket last July, and it just went crazy. And we introduced.
What was the appeal of that? Just the price point?
I think a little nostalgia. It had a $1 billion second chance drawing. So if you didn't win, you could enter your ticket and be eligible. And I think 3 or 4 Arkansans just went and had the opportunity to win the $1 billion top prize. They didn't win, or else you'd probably heard about it.
We would have definitely heard about them by now.
But that was a huge selling point, and people my age remember, Gene Wilder and Willy Wonka, and it's just kind of a nostalgia thing. You'd be surprised what tickets sell. Popeye and like Betty Boop. I'm always amazed at what themes that go over, but that was one that went over very well.
So really, let's keep in mind the bottom line on all this is that it does drive money for more revenue for scholarships. What are we seeing? Obviously, if you've got more money, I'm expecting that there'll be more money at the scholarship level. Tell me how big that improvement has been year over year, maybe over the last 2 years.
I think you go back to our low point, which I guess was about 4 years ago. We returned $72 million for scholarships. The next year we went to 85. Last year we were at about 8. I think we beat the previous year by $2,000 out of 400 and some odd million dollars. We beat it. And this year it looks like we're going to come in around 89 or 90. So we're having that positive trend. Of course, you gotta sustain it, so that always worries you. But I will take that any day, as long as we are funding what we need to fund, and I think we actually have a little excess now over there. We typically, we've raised enough to where I think we've got a little bit of excess for the students, so maybe the legislature can take that into account when they figure out the awards next year. I'm stay out of that.
And the scholarship deadline is coming up June 15th. I think is a deadline for students or for families with students to apply. Maybe run through just the particulars of that deadline and really who qualifies.
Well, anyone who has been an Arkansas resident for 12 months prior to applying, anyone who's currently in school, and a non-traditional student who is trying to get either a baccalaureate degree, an associate's degree, or a nursing certificate can apply. You have to have a 19 on the ACT. If you're non-traditional, there may be some other small quirks. I won't get into that, but I'll tell people to go to the Department of Higher Education website. It's very easy to click through that portal. Tells you exactly what you need. You've got to fill out a FAFSA form. There's another acronym. I have no clue what that means. But if you fill all those out, you will get a notification that you qualify, and they have done an excellent job of really making these applying a more universal thing as opposed to filling out 15 different
I've had a student go through it before. You fill it out one time and it just kind of populates you everywhere. Yeah, it's quite easy. It's very easy. All right, Bishop, good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Best of luck. Keep it going.
I'll try.
No pressure. All right. Thank you for tuning in. That's all for today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you next time.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.
I did.
Arkansas Electric Cooperative Corporation provides electric energy across 2/3 of Arkansas. This is an exciting time in our energy history, with incredible progress being made in renewable energy and storage technologies. As our energy portfolio continues to diversify, we'll maintain an all-the-above strategy to provide reliable and affordable electricity. Ever since the first light bulbs were placed in our members' homes, the electric cooperatives have been the solutions provider for our members, and we want to continue that well into the future.